Welcome back, and this is Ted Jordan, and I'm going to continue on with questions number 31 and 32 for my book, Preparing for the Linux Plus XK0-004 exam. And this is available on Amazon and at Barnes & Noble. Getting a lot of good reviews there. And for those that like, comment, and subscribe, they will be entered into a drawing that expires on September 3rd, 2020, and to win a free digital copy of the book. Like, comment, and subscribe to this video. Now let's get to question number 31. Also, make sure to share this channel with your friends if you know some folks that are looking to get Linux certified, whether it be Red Hat or Linux Plus, doesn't really matter. This will help them for all the exams. Which command can uncover remote users' login name and password when they connect using telnet or FTP? A is dig, B is nslookup, C is TCP dump, D is IP. And so feel free to pause right now if you want to think of the answer on your own. Otherwise, the answer here is C, TCP dump. And I'm going to actually demonstrate this later on, but dig and nslookup, A and B, those are used to show you what IP addresses belong to certain domains. So if I say dig www.yahoo.com, then we can get the IP address of yahoo.com, or nslookup www.jordanteam.com, that gives us the IP address of Jordan Team. Okay, and IP, the IP command will give you information about your network. And so if we look here and say IP address show, and this will show me my two IP interfaces. I've got LO for the loopback, and ENP0S3 is my device that's connected to the internet. So, and the IP command also gives you the IP address and the broadcast address. You get the IPv6 representation as well. Doing it this way is similar to running ifconfig. You get pretty well the same kind of output that you will with the ifconfig command. Okay, so here get the IP address, the version 6 address, the mask, and so on. This does give you a little bit more information, like some performance information that you don't see with the IP address show command. I could also just say IPAS as well. Gives you the same result. You can see there's shortcuts available. So if you're still interested in getting some statistics, you can use the new command called ethtool. And we'll put in ENP0S3 for the device. Get a lot of data here, so we'll pipe that to less. So now you can look at receive packets, transmit packets, and so on. So you can still get that information with a different command. So we'll quit out of this. Let's cover TCP dump, but we'll do that at the after the next question. And so we'll go to question number 32. Which protocols encrypt the network traffic? Choose two. A is SSH, B is FTP, C is telnet, D HTTPS, E finger. And so again, I'm going to let you pause this video if you want to answer this on your own. Otherwise, here your two choices are A, SSH, and D, HTTPS. These both encrypt. SSH for remotely logging into another computer will encrypt the information. HTTPS is we'll do SSL for your websites, encrypting your website conversation so you can do online shopping securely. And the finger command, if it's still around, is a command that would allow you to get information on the users that are using your system. Let's see if it still runs here. Yeah, we don't have it anymore. It would read information from the password file, and we'd have users here, like we got imyuc, and it would give you their name and their home directory and so on, but it's not really used much anymore because now they've gone to tools like LDAP to do that. Let's take a look at TCP dump and how these others encrypt and they don't encrypt. We'll try FTP first, and so we'll go ahead and we'll do a man on TCP dump. Now we're going way over what you'll need to know for the exam, by the way. The exam in general doesn't get to these different options of TCP dump. If you just understand the command, the purpose is to look at the data going between files, you'll be fine. We got the interface -I, and you see we want to write this to a file with -W. So let's take a look at TCP dump. And what I'm going to want to do is read write some output to a file called ftp.out using interface loopback, and we'll get that started. And we'll go over here, open a new tab, FTP to localhost, put in the login. I'm not going to tell you the password because it's a secret. We'll go ahead and exit from there, do a Control-C to quit, and that's pressing the Control and C key at the same time. That's what Control-C means for those that don't know. Now that we've written that file to ftp.out, we can read it, tcp dump, and we'll say read ftp.out. I'm going to say we want port FTP, and let's see what we get here. Got a lot of data there, and what I want to look for is please specify the password, and voila, you can see why FTP is an insecure utility, and it'd be better to use a tool like sftp, which will encrypt the password. So you can see that here we see my password here is Ted password. Now we can try this sftp, which is just one of the utilities that works with SSH. It still uses port 22 like SSH does. So it's not a sftp is not a, I want to run this TCP dump command again. sftp is not a secure version or it's not a secure enhancement of the FTP program where it's been uprevved. It's a totally different program, but the commands work the same. And we'll put in, it's going to ask for the keys, and we'll put in my password, and we'll quit out of here and do a Control-C here. And let's see what kind of information on the password we get this time. And we're going to be using port SSH this time because it's port 22 that we use, because if we did FTP we wouldn't get anything. Alright, so we'll use SSH because we use port 22. And here we see the information going back and forth. Let me run this command, and we'll pipe this to a command called less. And now I can use a / to search for like parts of password. Nothing found. And we'll just scroll through here. Can we see any data referring to password here? It just shows that there's a connection to the local host. That's it as far as data goes. nothing visible. Now there's another program called Wireshark, and that's another utility like TCP Dump, but it comes with a GUI. Do I have it installed? All right, I'll need to install. I have it installed, but just in case, let me do apt install Wireshark just in case it's not installed. All right, so it says it's installed now, and we got an error message. Couldn't connect to the X display. So what I've got to do, since I logged in as student 1, I got to go back over here. I have to allow student 1 as allow root to use this window. So I have to say x host space plus, and that's going to allow anyone to display on student 1's system. So we'll do an exit, and then let me make sure the display variable is set. Alright, so that has to be set as well. Export display equals :0. So we want to make it an environment variable all at the same time. So now when I want to run Wireshark, alright, so we get some data. I want to go ahead asking what port to capture on, and I'm going to want it to capture on the loopback port. And we'll run this. We're going to do something similar, but this time we'll use the telnet command. We'll go in as TED. Tell you the password again, and we'll exit again. We'll go ahead and we'll go back here to Wireshark. And so here with Wireshark, and I'm sorry if this is too small. Okay, so, and we can see that each transaction that occurred during that telnet session is shown here, and it shows you here below what characters are seen. So we'll go ahead and we'll eventually be able to see, it says here log in to localhost, and we should see the password. Now if we have trouble seeing it here, then we can go to, because this is showing every transaction, we can go to analyze, follow TCP stream, and here again, I know this is probably too small again. Let me try making this one bigger by doing Control++ again. No, it's not doing anything, but there's my password. Still, it's TED password. I made it the same. And there it shows up with Wireshark. So now Wireshark might be on the exam, but again, not how to use it, just knowing it's a tool that that's a packet sniffer. All right. So if we go over here and run stelnet, let's do a new tab, and we'll run it again. So we're going to say loop back. I'm going to do our stelnet. We could even do SSH, but there's also an stelnet. All right. Oh, I don't have that one installed. That's fine. And we'll put in the password. And again, you can see the conversation through here. The question is, though, with the secure version of SSH, with SSH secure version, with SSH is encrypted by default. We can go to analyze and follow TCP stream, and it shows you that the handshake was done, and after that the entire conversation is garble. That's perfect.
So anyway, this is just showing you that SSH is secure, and we'd see a similar output with HTTPS as well. But FTP, telnet, and finger are all insecure. So thanks for watching. That's a little bit, we covered a lot there. TCP dump, Wireshark, secure protocols, and using utilities like dig and IP and nslookup. Again, remember to like and subscribe, and leave a comment as well if you want to enter the contest for the free book that expires on September 3rd, 2020. And again, that's we put you in for a drawing for a free copy of the online book. Remember to tell your friends, and we'll see you at the next video.